The team at the Bryant Family Medicine All Sports Media wants to take the time to thank our sponsors, Bryant Family Medicine and Heather Martinez Realtor. We also want to thank our support staff, Valerie Rutherford, Allison Messer, Larry Spicer, Addison Sloan, John North, Shane Shackelford, and last but not least, Keisha Ambergy. With the support of our fine sponsors, our dedicated staff, and you, the members, we are all working on one goal, the promotion of student athletes. With this team, we can't miss.
Hi, I'm Heather Martinez, active community member and your realtor. Give me a call or text 606-344-0217, or you can reach me by email, heather.martinezrealtor@gmail.com.
Bryant Family Medicine All Sports Media presents Around the Region, the sports talk show, and I finally corrected my notes over here to where it don't say the fall sports talk show or whatever it was saying here for a month, so that sounded pretty good. Let me say it again. Bryant Family Medicine All Sports Media presents Around the Region, the sports talk show. Sounds really good. I think Ryan likes that.
I was laughing because you didn't say fall this time.
Okay, so we're like all seasons now. That officially makes us all seasons. But that being said, Ryan's always ready. How you doing?
I did pretty good. I had to take some Tylenol before I came on. Had one of them headaches today.
Yeah, the Bengals are giving me a headache. Just while I was feeling it, Bengals had a chance to make a defensive stop down by 6. Flacco be the hero. And then they give up like first down, and you got game's over. But I don't know. I love my Bengals. But while we got a minute, while we're waiting for Edward to come on, let's take a minute to thank our sponsors again. Bryant Family Medicine, again. Brian, if you had the headache and the sniffles, it definitely looks like you're in line to go pay them a visit. They can probably get you some antibiotics and get you feeling real good and get you feeling better for, these shows that's coming up. And got a lot of region tournaments and stuff. And a lot of that stuff's coming around the corner, especially with soccer. They've already been through the districts, starting their region Monday, and volleyball thinks in their last week of the regular season. So everything's kicking into gear at this point. And then also, let's thank Heather Martinez. And if you got the money like Ryan does, if you're in the market for buying or selling a brand new home, a $700,000 home like Ryan's fixing to purchase, go to Heather Martinez. She can hook you up. She's definitely the hookup. She's definitely the right person to go see, and very generous at that. And I want to thank her fine sponsors for everything they do. Also, a big shout out to all our viewers that's kicked on gear. I mean, right here, right off the bat. And, they've not even had the pleasure yet of seeing Edward. And we've already got views like this. Imagine when Edward comes on this show. Edward's like, Elvis Presley, like when Elvis comes in and like Elvis has came into the building, here comes Edward. But, we need, see? From out of nowhere, here he comes. Edward,
you got to start giving me an introduction, or I'm not going to be able to keep coming on.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking about doing like this. Edward Hall.
You need to be more like the man that's total nonstop action. Then say
that. Mr. Sports. But I think we've got one of our first guests on, and before we bring him on, we've got 3 special guests on tonight. I got North Laurel's Zach Philpott, Pineville's Brooke Harris, and from Williamsburg, Case and Harrell, and it's going to be exciting night. Good show lined up, so let's go ahead and bring on our first guest if you're ready. Zach, thank you for coming on. Thank you for giving us your time.
Thank you all for having me.
I believe I saw you in action there a couple of weeks ago, and Zach, I don't want to embarrass you, but I'm still a little overwhelmed about the size of you. Before we even start these questions, will you tell our audience how tall and how big you are?
I'm about 6'4" and around 300 pounds.
Ryan, you want to go in there and tangle with them?
I believe I will pass.
I admit, folks, and I'll be honest with you. I'm gonna come out with some truth bombs. When I was interviewing this, I'm gonna say man. When I was interviewing this man, I'm like, you get a little jittery. He's like, don't hit me. Don't. This guy, he's very huge, but it's not big. It's cut up. You can tell he puts a lot of work in the weight room, stuff like that. But Zach, your team got a big win Friday night. So tell us a little bit about that game.
Yes, sir. It was a hard fought win. It was their senior night, so they came ready to play. And we didn't have school that day, so we kind of came out slow in the first half. We got down 14-8. Kind of, Coach Nelson got us right at halftime though. In the second half, we came out and put it to them. Ended up winning 24-14.
So we probably don't want to talk about that discussion at halftime to get you back on board there.
Oh no,
Zach said we got to keep it PG here. That might have got a little heated there, but only just a game. Talk about this super season, this super roll that Ian's has been on.
we just, nobody expected it, but we're sitting at 6-1 right now. Defeating good teams like Madison Central, Southwestern, and just top 10 teams and all from 3A, 6A, everywhere. We've just been putting in the work over the summer, and everyone's just come together. And it's just, I don't think there's any team in the state that wants to win more than we do. It's just everybody on the team just wants to win. They got the grit in them, and everyone hits hard, and they got the physicality, and everybody just wants to win on the team.
Well, I think of North Florida, me watching it firsthand, it has to be. I think I might even brought this up to you in the interview. I mean, I'm not wanting to get you to blow the whole lot because I know you're all about team, but they have to be a little satisfaction to know that these teams know what you're going to do, but they're still not stopping it.
Yeah, they know North Florida comes with the run, but you got to make them respect it. You got to make them like it.
and folks, I've seen it firsthand. They definitely make them like a huge up front. But Edward, Rod?
Yeah, I'm looking at your schedule, and I see you got a big time test at home.
Yeah.
This Friday night when you play number 1 Pulaski County in the RPI. What's it going to be like in that stands at home on Friday night?
You got two good teams, button heads. Pulaski, a lot of people think that they're just going to run away with it, but I think we're going to give them a run for their money and probably take the game. I don't want to sound too confident, but I'm very confident in our team, and I just know that we can come together and pull one out.
And then Mark and Edward knows where I'm going with this because I always ask it. Out of all the restaurants in London, there's a million of them. What's your favorite restaurant to eat at?
Right now, I got to say Old Town Grill. I'm loving their buffalo chicken wrap. I love it.
You can't go wrong.
There we go.
You can't go wrong with Old Town Grill.
OTG.
No, I love it.
We haven't heard of OTG one yet, but Zach comes out here, being a little different. Normally everybody says Mexican or something like that, but Zach says, "Give me OTG."
Oh yeah.
You can't go wrong with a good old fashioned steak or some chicken, and just go right to town.
But Edward.
So I'm gonna have to piggyback a little bit off like your schedule that you was talking about. I mean, you've collided with everybody. You've played the Corbins, the Perrys, the Madison Centrals, the Whitleys, the Collins. So I just got to ask you, playing that style schedule, how do you think that has got you prepared to play at the level you are right now?
It's prepared us plentiful. I mean, that's why Coach Nelson, he's been saying it all year. He's made the schedule the way he's made it, so we're prepared to go on a state championship run because he knows and the team knows that we have the caliber team to make it that far. And he's just been putting us to work every week on it.
So I'm going to have to ask you, what did you all do in the off season to get yourself where you're at?
We had practice about every day. We weightlifted. We got some of the strongest dudes in the state on our team. Our middle linebacker, Brody Pruitt, he's an animal in the weight room. He probably benches about 400 pounds, squats about little over 500. He's an animal, but just everybody on the team, they put in the work whenever it's needed. And it's just our team loves lifting big and hitting people. So, and then we had that we went away to team camp this year, and it really brought us together. Uh, and it brought us together a lot. And so we're really close. We played ball since elementary school, since about third grade. Everyone's played with each other, so we're really tight. Team chemistry, and we just love to work.
So I heard you talk about the weight room. So I'm gonna have to ask you. I know back in my days, we always had some friendly wagers of like who's going to out bench or out squat the other one. So y'all
Mhm.
have that going on in the weight room occasionally.
We're very competitive. There for a long time, it was me and our safety Cooper Robinson. His body ain't that big, but he can put up the weight. He benches about 330 pounds. In his small size, but it's very competitive in there. We sure go at it.
So this is probably one of my favorite questions I ask. So what kind of like pre-game ritual do you have?
I'm not. A lot of people like to get jacked up for the games, but I kind of just like to sit and calm down and just think about what I'm going to do in the game and just get my mind right before the game.
So I'm assuming I probably already know the answer to this question, but at the beginning of the season, was there one team you couldn't wait to play the most?
It's got to be South Laurel. They had we had a rough loss to them last year, but this year we're coming after them, ready to get to that game. Been waiting on it all season.
So, I've been to many of those games, been in a few of them myself. So I'm going to have to ask you, as a athlete, tell me about what it's like playing in the North-South rivalry.
It's awesome. You got the whole town there. North side rooting for North, and of course South rooting for South, and it's so fun because the guys you're playing against. So you can just have a little friendly smack talk. I'm not much of a smack talker. I like to keep my mouth shut because don't want to have any bad karma come back to me from saying something. But it's awesome. Just getting to play against your crosstown rival. It's amazing. I wouldn't want to have it any other way.
So it's one of them things. It's like I'm gonna beat you up on the field, but afterwards we'll go up to the Pizza Hut here or OTG
Yeah.
and get us some wings and we'll hang out.
Oh yeah.
But Mark,
Yeah, you got me hungry talking about OTG for sure. And, I've not ate at that spot in a while, but when we were talking about restaurants, have you hit up the Zaxby's yet?
I have not, but we have had it as a pregame meal twice this year, and I have to say it's pretty doggone good.
So are you a Zaxby's fan or are you a Raising Cane's fan?
I gotta say I'm still a Raising Cane's fan, but Zaxby's is growing on me. That Zaxby sauce, it's something else. It's good.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I always say, well, Raising Cane's better. I'm like, well, what makes Raising Cane so good? The sauce. And then, I'm
Mhm.
like you. The more you eat the Zaxby sauce, you're like, yeah.
Pretty good.
Zaxby's definitely coming. Zach, I gotta ask you. You're a big old boy. You talk about hitting weights, the work that your team put in this summer. Gotta ask you something just for kicks and giggles. This is your whole football team. I'm sure you could hold your own because I've seen you firsthand. So,
Mhm.
so if your team had an arm wrestling competition, who do you think would win?
That's a good one. Uh, I'd probably have to give it to our linebacker Brody Pruitt. He's an animal. Or our defensive lineman Reese Sutton. One of those two. It's one of them two guys. That'd be the championship of them.
So would that be like must see TV to watch them two go at it? Would that be like
Oh
over
yeah.
the top, grunting and spitting and
Hmm.
sweating?
Two competitive guys, two competitive strong guys going at it.
We know what the team goal is, and I ask everybody that comes on. Uh, so what is it going to take for you to be parade down? London, state champions. What is it going to take to get to that point?
We just got to keep working and stick together as a team, and I think we can get it done. We're 5A is pretty tough this year. You got Pulaski, Woodford, Scott County, teams like that, but we've played some of the best in 5A and we've won, so I think we should have a good shot at it.
I don't know if you keep up with the rankings and the RPI stuff of it. Us as media, that's all we can really look at. That stats.
Mhm.
Do you look into that stuff?
I'll give it a look about. I'll look at it every week that it refreshes, but I don't study into it hardly at all. I don't even know how it works. I just look at it.
Well, that's why I was going to lead you to the next question. Are you a fan of the RPI, or does it even matter to you?
I think it. I don't really know how it works, but I think it matters. It's just the way they can rank the teams on their strength of schedule and how good they are. So I think it's pretty important, getting into the later rounds of the playoffs, being able to re-bracket and stuff.
Yeah, I've sort of been a fan on the RPI for years, and I know there's a lot of people in the media that ain't, because it might lead a team to traveling clear across Western Kentucky. I mean, Edward took a pretty long trip there a few years back to cover a team, but stuff like that. But I'm sort of a fan of it. I like how it
Mhm.
works out. Just you do what you do, and just tell me what you do for yourself personally. What kind of training conditioning do you do to keep your body the way it is at this point?
You know, I go through. I do my footwork drills, of course, just to keep my footwork good, and I'll lift light at home just to keep my joints and muscles going, and then me and Dad bought me him an ice bath to use, one of the cold plunges. We're gonna get that thing set up so I can keep my body refreshed
Well,
for the next game the next week.
wow. Yeah. And, I too, I rephrase back to that. Um, what you see, what everybody I've talked to, you got the right attitude. You're a cool customer, but I'm sure you get on the field, it's a different you on the field. But and that's how it should be. And
Mm,
because I've seen you firsthand, you sure knock some people around for sure. But
yes,
folks,
sir.
again, I'm telling you, we've got a lot of viewers here. You just need to see this. I'm gonna say man again. See him firsthand. Stand beside him and then see if you ain't a little. Don't hit me here. But I know you're not that type. You got a good head on your shoulders. You got a
Mm,
bright future, and I just
thank you.
absolutely love what you're doing personally, and your North Laurel Jags are doing. But we're going to ask you a few favors, if you don't mind doing it for us. And I'm sure Edward and Ryan still got some more questions. But we've been doing these. Last year we started the uh, um, best restaurants. Instead of several Field of 64 basketball teams, we did our Field of 64 restaurants. So I think the winner of the national champion wound up being Texas Roadhouse. So once we got it all done, so we had our members vote, our student athletes vote on it. This year we're doing sports movies, so we're going to probably ask you if you don't care to vote on some sports movie
Hmm.
matchups for us. And I think Edward will probably have a few things made up for you.
All right.
See if I can get them to pull up tonight.
Bench warmers against Space Jam 2, and that's a LeBron James version.
Hmm. I want to give this one to the bench warmers. I love that movie. It's hilarious. I like that one. A little
Edward's already
upset.
shake, Edward's already shaking his head because he can't complete a sentence without saying LeBron James. LeBron.
Well,
Hey,
unfortunately, I like both shows, so
mm, I'm a big LeBron fan myself, but I got to give it to the bench warmers.
Zach, I gotta ask you before we go to the next one: Michael Jordan or LeBron James?
I'm a young guy, so I got to give it to LeBron James.
Oh,
see, I knew I liked Zach for a reason.
you,
I like
you
Michael
just
Jordan. I'm not a LeBron fan.
you just like Zach ever because you'd be like, he goes in first. Yeah, that's the reason why you like Zach.
Well, from the interviews you sent me, of course I'm going behind. I mean, ain't nobody gonna fool around with you and then going in first. So I ain't.
I'm borderline 6 foot 6'1", and whenever I'm holding a mic like this, I'm like, hello, yeah,
Mark,
yeah.
I am 5. I am 5'5". So you don't want to see me.
So we need to let Ryan interview Zach next time. That way he can climb up about 5 steps on a ladder.
The program against Rocky 2.
I hadn't watched the program until we watched it on the bus on the way to play Lawrence County, and that movie was awesome. But I still got to give it to Rocky 2. I love that movie.
Oh, that's gonna be one of the most hardest ones ever for me to vote on. But
That's what.
I'm leaning with you there, Zach. Win
Mhm.
Rocky, win a league of their own against the first Rocky.
I got to give this one to the first Rocky. The Rocky movies are some of my favorite movies.
Airbud Golden Receiver against Sandlot.
Got to give this one to The Sandlot. I love that movie. It's awesome.
Zach, do you ever find yourself training like Rocky Balboa out there? Hitting the cans and chopping the trees and running through the snow and
Anything you can do to get better. That's how I feel.
But Ryan, you have anything else for him?
At the moment, no, I might think of something later. As I always, as I always do.
So, Zach, I do got a couple questions for you before I
Mhm.
show you a few things we put together for you. So, have you ever found yourself in the course of a game being lined up against somebody and just grab them like this and just move them out of your way?
Yeah, a few times actually.
So, have you ever been lined up and watched them have to go around you instead of coming at you? Like, nope, never mind, I'm going this way.
That's what a lot of them try to do. The blitz and linebackers, they try to run right past you, but got to get back there and can't let them get around you.
Well, I mean, I don't blame them. I believe I'd take the long way around. But my final question I got for you. So, through your time playing football, this can be as a kid, passing the football in the backyard, at a park, varsity game, anything. What would you consider your favorite all-time memory?
Favorite all-time memory? It's probably, riding around with my dad and mom, going to all these football camps and the visits and everything, just getting to spend more time with them. I love spending time with family.
Absolutely. So, Zach, we do tend to put together a couple graphics for each student athlete that comes on our show, and I'll get these sent over to Mark. That way he can get them sent out to you. And they will
sir,
also be posted on every one of our social media sites. But I got to ask you for one huge favor.
All right.
Out of the two that I'm going to show you, tell me which one of them you like the most.
All righty. It's a tough decision. I think I got to give it to the second one though, because that's one of my favorite pictures of me. I love that picture. They're both great. They're both great graphics, but that second one, that's my favorite picture.
Well, see now, Zach, you've inflated Mark's head so big he won't be able to fit out his door.
Lightning struck.
But Zach, I do personally want to thank you for taking your time to come on. And from everything I've seen and everything I've got to hear about you, you're killing it. Your team's killing it. You only got a few things left to do and one big thing left to do. So, bring that hardware home.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Thank you all.
I'm basically going to piggyback off what Edward said. Go win the state championship, and best of luck to you and your team the rest of the season and into the playoffs.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Before I let you go, like again, I've seen you firsthand. I know what kind of a talented athlete you are. When it comes to that time you making your commitments and decisions for the next level, would another sport be? Would you play two sports, or are you just solely locked into football, or would you do the two sport deal?
Last year I picked up track, throwing shot put, and I've fallen in love with that, so I enjoy that too. So maybe that, but I'd probably just stick with football.
But again, I want to go with what they said. Just thank you for coming on. You've been a great interview, and everybody I've talked to down there around London has talked about how good of a young man you are, and you got the right head on your shoulders. when I was your age, honestly, Zach, I didn't even probably even know what my name was half the time. So, yeah, you definitely you're right on par, and the future's bright for you. And just keep us informed on what's going on with you later on down the line. On commitments, or maybe we can send somebody down there and get some pictures or something. Whenever you
Mhm.
decide to have that day, and just anything we can do to help, we're here.
Yes, sir. Thank you all.
Okay, but good luck, and thank you for coming on.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
When you talk about terms of gentle giant, he's the he is definitely the what you see like a gentle giant. On the field, don't get in his way. Outside the field, he just what you see is what you get, and he was just so you know just so I don't know the word for it. Edward Ryan, give me a word for it. He's just so chill, the smile on his face, as nice as he can be whenever. And this guy is really intimidating looking. When you walk up to him, he's very intimidating. You just don't see the 6'4", 300-pound guys walking around, by the bushel in these areas, and very intimidating. But Ryan Edward, you got anything else to say about this?
Yeah, yeah. When I saw that second picture, I mean, it just makes me like it would make me scared to death to line up in front of him and try to get to the backfield. One, it would be happening.
Edward?
Just from getting to talk to him, he's just a level-headed, humble young man, and you know, got to wish him and his team, best of luck the remaining part of the season.
We had a cancellation. Brooke Harris ain't going to be able to make it tonight. Just found out about that. Hopefully, we can get her on soon. I believe she reached a milestone a few days back. Maybe it might have been longer than that. Her 500th dig, and it's going to be. Uh, we want to bring her on, congratulate her for that, and a real good athlete too. Love John North and love the Pineville volleyball program down there. And there's another man that has went above and beyond for us. And I can't even say just John, but the whole Pineville family. Every one of them has went above and beyond for us down there, and they're a big reason why we're still staying afloat. I guess I gotta give them a lot of credit and love too. And John, just not only a great coach, but I consider him a great friend, just a good guy, and wish his team and Brooke the best of luck for sure. And uh, volleyball is on their last week now. Then you go to the district, then you go to region and all that stuff. And I will give kudos, or I guess kudos, or however you want to pronounce that. There's a team that's catching fire here toward the end of the year, and that's up at Bell County. The Bell County girls are really catching fire here at the end of the year, and all they have to do is look at their schedule and see some of the teams that they beat coming down the stretch, and their RPI start to look really, really good too. And Whitley County's going to be there, Corbin's going to be there. All of a sudden, volleyball got really, really interesting. We also know how good Harlan County is, but I even think Harlan got Bill earlier in the year. I think Bill got up there toward the end here. So it's getting very interesting going down the stretch of volleyball. But I'll tell you a guy that's caught my attention. And again, we're talking Johnny on the spot. We had a cancellation. I'm sitting here messaging, like, hey, we need some help. We had it, and he changed his time. The player he is come right to us, and I guess he's sitting back into the green room right now. So I guess if are we ready for our next guest?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
We'll bring him on. Case and Harold, thank you for coming on. How are you doing?
Thank you for inviting me. I'm doing well. How are you?
Doing good. Saw you play for the first time the other day. I know you didn't get the win, but just your team was great. You played great. You've had a great season, and I got to throw a couple videos before we start asking you some questions, if that's okay.
That's okay.
If I can get to them, Ryan, maybe you can pull them up easier than I can.
Yeah, I got it right here.
Okay. Together.
Well, I hear the sound. I just don't.
Let me try. Folks, Casey, correct me if I'm wrong, you're in sixth grade, right?
Yes, sir.
And this, if mine ain't what they once was, but this is them lined up at the 30-yard line, right? Am I saying that right, or do we need to play that again? He throws that like a rocket at 30 plus yards. It's, I mean, let's watch that again.
Yeah, we're about the 30-yard line.
See if we can pull it up here. Ryan, you want me to?
One of y'all.
Let me see if I pull it up.
One of y'all don't have to do it. It won't even play for me.
He's actually on the 25-yard line because he's in the shotgun position. This thing's a rocket to the 40. This is at least 30-yard dart.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying you're young, sixth grade. You're getting up there. But this is a sixth grader throwing a dart like that. I'm a grown man, and I could not throw a football like that.
Yeah.
I'm a grown man. Casey, where do you get that from? I mean, that's just wow.
Probably outside training with my dad all these years.
So can you throw a football better than your dad?
Yeah.
I think Cody, I think that's a friendly competition. We might need to videotape that there. Yeah.
So, Mark, before you go on, I have to speak some stats here. Just these are phenomenal. So last year you threw for 1,506 passing yards and had 27 touchdowns, if I'm correct. And then this year you've got 1,365 passing yards with 25 touchdowns right now.
Okay.
So in a 2-year span, that's 52 touchdowns, Mark, and that is 2,871 passing yards in just a 2-year span.
What do you say about that? Back in my 5th and 6th grade years, it was run, 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 run. You didn't hear about that, and this guy's literally throwing close to 3,000 yards in a 2-year span and 52 touchdowns.
I owe a lot of that to my receivers, though. I mean, they're just phenomenal. We have Colton Brumley, Maverick Jones, Moses Pruitt, and Liam Wilson this year. Phenomenal. I mean, all of them.
Yeah, I absolutely love your team and what I've seen out there. You definitely don't quit Indians and just you spot. That's all that matters at the end of the game. It's fight, and you didn't quit. And you do have some really really good receivers there. You're definitely right for sure. And I believe you just got back from somewhere. Am I right? Maybe a quarterback training deal.
Yeah, with Bar Elam, Matt Academy. I love it down there. That's always fun.
So
Also,
what?
Tony Colston Gunslinger Academy. We compete in their 7-on-7 every year. Gridiron.
So what exactly do you do in them camp or the quarterback training deal?
We just focused on the little things, which I believe is the most important little details. And we just like 2-step, 3-step, constantly going through drills. It's always fun.
So Casey, I noticed you was lining up a lot. You know, out of the pistol, shotgun, whatever you want to call it. But do you prefer that on just straight up lining up under center?
No, I don't like it under center.
Well, most quarterbacks I hear, you know, I talked to today, they like it out of shotgun position because they say they're able to see the field better. Am I right about that?
Yeah, we have an air raid offense.
So how fun is it? So how fun is it to play in that?
That's really fun. I mean, letting the ball air out a lot. Don't like to run it. I mean,
Okay. You know, and Casey, I gotta give you all the props in the world. Me in sixth grade, there would be no way that I had the nerve to do what you're doing right now, and you're just a cool customer. I thought you were just a cool customer on the field, but you're a cool customer off the field too. I can see it there, and you know you got this, and just wow, the stats speak for themselves, and folks, I've seen this guy play firsthand the other day, and the mechanics are there. This guy is going to be a serious player here later on down the road at the junior varsity level, the varsity levels, and even the next step above that. Because this guy has got like the mechanics, he's got good footwork. You just don't really see that a lot in these ages, but he is he's the next coming. Let me just say that. But Ryan Edwards.
thank you.
This season, I mean, what's kind of been your favorite game to play in?
Definitely the Whitley County game. That's always competitive. Wingsburg and Whitley. That was a dogfight.
Yeah, and then it's my last one. In Williamsburg, I know there's not a lot of restaurants.
There's
All I
about
can
5
say-
restaurants in
there's about
Williamsburg.
5 of them. What's your favorite one to eat at?
Cookout.
So
Oh, I
why
can
you
eat
get
it.
why you get the cookout?
A grilled chicken sandwich with onion rings and a sweet tea.
Done got me hungry. You can't go wrong with onion rings, grilled chicken, or sweet tea.
I like the sweet teas.
Besides the sweet tea, both of them sound good. But Edwin,
So, talking about where you said lining up in the shotgun allows you to be able to have more vision of the field. Tell me how, as a quarterback, you can make those timely decisions to be able to see which receiver you need to get.
Well, it mostly depends on their leverage, outside, inside leverage, where they're looking. They're looking at you, zone, most of the time. They're looking at your receiver, it's mostly man. You're looking at 1 high safety, 2 high safeties. It's mostly what I look for. If the linebacker's cheating in, they're playing too far in, how far back the safety's playing. It's a lot easier to see out of that than under center.
So, as a quarterback, do you like the quick routes, or do you prefer throwing the long bomb?
Long bomb, letting that thing air out.
Before you go to the next question, Casey, if you're really set, how far do you think you could throw a football?
50 yards. 45, 50 yards.
wow.
Well, we got videotape to prove it. That's 30-yard dart. I mean, imagine if he put air under, you know,
That's easily another 20 yards.
easily.
So I know you said that you like throwing it a little bit more than running it.
Yeah.
So, like in a scramble situation, if you had to run it, do you prefer to throw across your body, or do you prefer to square up and throw?
Across my body. I mean, because if I square up and throw, I might get hit from the back. I mean, square up and throw, dangerous.
Well, I mean, you couldn't have said that no better. But
You
I'm still.
Edward, I'm sorry, but we learn something every day. I'm always questioning that every football game I go to anymore. Why did he throw across body? Ain't it easier to plant and zip it in there? But he's got a good point right there. Now I can see why you see more and more quarterbacks doing the crossbody stuff to protect themselves. Casey, you just educated me on something I've been questioning for about 2 years now. I guess people's like tired of hearing me like, why ain't he planting? Why ain't he planting? But yeah, it does make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it does make complete sense. But I
I
gotta
mean,
go. I still gotta go.
honestly, Edward, did you know that till he said that? I mean, I'm sure you're an old school guy. Let's plant and dip that ball in there.
Well, I mean, I do still prefer the planting, but the athletes have got a lot bigger,
Bigger,
stronger,
stronger.
and faster over the years. So now I understand the whole throw it across your body, quick as you can.
Yeah.
So, but I just got to go. I just got to go back to the stats again. That's a 2-year span of stats. I just said, as you being a sixth grader, there's a lot of athletes that don't even get that in the high school level over their 4-year span. So, just what do you do in the off season to get yourself to that level?
Well, I'll train with Tony Colston, and Bart Elam. Tony's down in Knoxville, and Bart's just up there in Corbin. So 7-on-7 for Tony Colston. Always fun. I got Gunslinger of the Year up there. Yeah, I led the whole league in touchdowns, and I also lift a little bit off season.
So, is football the only sport you do right now, or is there others that you do?
I do 2 other sports, basketball and baseball.
So, I am going to have to ask you this: being a multi-sport star, how does that help you going from one sport to the other? Keep yourself basically in shape.
Yeah, it just helps me stay in shape and exercising constantly. It's always fun. I mean, I have to do something.
So, final question I got for you before I get you back over to Mark. This is another quarterback question. Does it really matter like how quick you release the ball? I know it allows the defense more time to get to you, but are you more of a guy that's like 1 second, 2 second, 3 second release, or do you try to make time for your receivers?
It really depends on the scenario for that. I mean, it depends how the defense is playing. I mean, if it's a quick curl, I see the dude got the bite on it. I have to get rid of that. I mean, if I see him still backing up, I mean, I can make time for the receiver.
Okay, yeah, that makes complete sense. But Mark,
Casey, are there any other sports you play other than football?
basketball, and baseball.
Basketball and baseball.
Okay, did you already ask that? Okay, I had it muted, camera off. Okay, well, Edward already asked you that. So, did you ask him if he preferred one over the other?
Didn't ask that part.
Okay, do you prefer one over the other, or are you strictly a
Football.
football? he, he answered that real quick. But before we let you go, I don't know if you're familiar for shows, but last year we started something. You know, the NCAA basketball tournament, Field of 64. We replaced all the basketball teams. That's how we'll get rid of Kentucky's UCLA. So we put restaurants in there. And finally, Texas Roadhouse won the national championship. So this year, we got rid of all the basketball teams again. We put sports movies on there.
Mm.
So what we're going to ask you if you would vote on some of our sports movie matchups, and then I think that Edward's probably got a few things he could show you. Bench warmers against Space Jam 2.
Bench warmers.
And Edward is starting to sweat. LeBron James might go down tonight. The program against Rocky 2.
Never watch either one.
Well, if you was guessing, I'll give you a hint. The program's a football movie about a.
Rocky 2.
Yeah, okay. A League of Their Own against the first Rocky.
Rocky. I mean, I watched a little bit here and there, but not a lot of it.
Air Bud, Golden Retriever, or Sandlot.
Sandlot.
I think Sandlot's going to run away with that tonight. Yeah, I think that's officially the last of the 17 Airbuds that we had.
It is.
But Edward?
So, I got one more question for you before I show you a few things we put together for you. So, through your time playing football, this can be any of the 7-on-7s in the backyard, throwing the football, anything. What would you consider your favorite all-time memory?
I have a few. I've gone outside with my dad when I was little. Also have getting invited to the Under Armour Combine. That was really cool. And that's probably it. Actually winning MVP in a bowl game. That was pretty cool against Camp. It was fun. That's probably it.
So we do tend to put together a couple graphics for each student athlete that comes on our show, and I'll get these over to Mark. That way he can get them sent over to you. And they will also be posted on every one of our social media sites. But I got to ask you for one favor. Out of the two I show you, tell me which one of the two you like the most.
Probably the first one.
See, you can't go wrong with the OG graphic, Mark.
That's what you say.
But I do personally want to thank you for taking your time to come on, and from everything that I've seen, the stats that I've got to look up and see, you're killing it, your team's killing it, and I just got to wish you best of luck.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting.
I'm gonna say the same thing that Edward says. Just best of luck to your other sports and the rest of football season here.
Thank you.
Casey, just thank you for coming on, and you've been a super interview, and just keep on keeping on. I've seen you firsthand. The future's bright. Keep in touch with us. Things that you do, anything that we can help promote you. Let us know, and we'll do our very best. You're very good student athlete, but you got a good head on your shoulders, and I've heard a lot of people talking well about you, and you've been a pleasure to interview.
Thank you.
That was a good interview. Sixth grade, folks. Sixth grade. He is cooler than I am on. You know how I am at these. You'd steal with me before every show anyway. He just comes in there. He comes on a little bit earlier than what we ask him to, and just knocks it out of the park.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say this. I don't know at 6th grade, when I was in 6th grade, if I could did that.
See, Edward here. I don't know what Edward's doing. He's taking a nap.
I'm actually looking for my quote.
That's his story. I thought I heard a couple snores right there. But before we start our ending discussions, let's do with the most anticipated graphics in the history of social media sports. It ain't a bird. It ain't a plane. It's the RP5. Okay. Ryan, you're supposed to clicked it on that today. Oh, there we go. Okay, we'll start with the Kansas City 33 boys soccer top 5. The RPI didn't change because now they're in district tournament and region tournament, stuff like that. The RPI didn't change, but the win-loss records is about the only thing that changed. Number 1 is OBI. Number 2 is North Laurel. Number 3 is Whitley County. Number 4 is South Laurel. Number 5, Corbin. Should be a dandy region tournament at South Laurel High School. Ryan, you got anything else to say about that, or Edward, or is Edward still napping?
Well, I was napping, but I've got to see the majority of these teams firsthand, and region tournament. I'm actually going to try to get to up there to cover most of that, but I'm actually excited to see how it's going to shape up.
I mean, it's like Edward said and you said, it's gonna be a very entertaining regional tournament and find out who's gonna represent that 30th region in the state tournament.
So that would lead us to the next graphic. The KSA AA 13th region football top 5. Not a whole lot of maneuvering. There, the bottom 3 shuffled around, but Bell County 1, Millsboro 2, North Laurel 3, Corbin 4, and South 5. If you want to, Ryan, let's go over the girls soccer since it hadn't changed, and then we'll go back to this because there's been some movement here. Now, the Kansas City 33, the girls soccer top 5, you got North Laurel, Millsboro, Whitley County, Corbin, and Bell County. Again, the RPI didn't change on the girls soccer either because they're starting their region tournament also. Only thing changed was a win-loss record. And again, that should be an absolute dandy there at South Laurel. Edward or Ryan, you got anything to say about this?
Yeah, I mean, if I'm not mistaken on that matchup, it's gonna be interesting to see who comes out of that because all 4 teams, I'm used to saying 8, all 4 teams are very good, and it's gonna be a very fun Tuesday night there at South Law.
Down to what he said, it's going to be an exciting night for soccer there on Tuesday night. And for all the viewers that's still watching, if you ain't got nothing to do, nothing planned yet, come out and watch some exciting soccer action there on Tuesday night.
So that'll lead us back into the boys football. And, of course, you got Bell County, Millsboro, North Laurel, Corbin, and South. I think South dropped a few spots. I think North and Corbin climbed. It's like, I don't know, just a little circle deal. Well, look at this RPI, Ryan and Edward. It's hard, really hard for me not to be impressed by what Bill County's doing. He took a took a couple injuries there Friday night, but they fought through them. Did some shuffling. They had to shuffle some guys around to pull out a win against a really good Knox Central team that just had come off a win against Hazard. And they hit Knox Central in stride, and I'm telling you, that was Bill Case had back-to-back really impressive wins, and now they travel the Clay County, which ain't gonna be easy at all on them. And then I think Edward covered Millsboro. We just talked to one of the reasons why North Laurel set 3 right there. Corbin's Corbin. They did their thing against Harlan County. And, I went to the South Pulaski County game this week. Folks, I can tell you firsthand, that game was much closer to what the score wound up being, because that game could have very easily been like 20-14, 21-14 at halftime. South Florida had the ball coming out, got a turnover, and that was basically the turning point of that game. And but South Florida hung right with them for a bigger portion of that game. Edward Rice.
Yeah, I was still at Bell High, but I did not cover it because I had to work. But it's been. You look at the way Dulles did his schedule and everything. He got his student athletes ready, prepared for November, for playoff time and everything. It's gonna be fun to see how everything shapes up in that massive 3A mess, as I like to call it right now.
Well, I have seen basically every one of these teams play, and 3A, 1A, 5A, 4A, it's getting closer and closer to time to where everybody's wanting their RPI to be as high as they can physically get it. That way, come playoff times, they do have home field advantage. But I am looking forward to seeing, because you got 2 of these teams that will be colliding in the next couple weeks, in which that's going to be a good old-fashioned dogfight. And again, when's the last time that you can say that you have 2 teams in the same county that has a legit argument to say that they can make a legit state run?
I can't remember the last time.
You would probably, I guess they're in the same county, and somebody help me, Pikeville Belfry.
Yeah, I believe that would have been the last time.
It's just really crazy how much talent is in the Bell County area. But that being said, Edward, I will chime off what you was talking about. And of course, you got. I'm even going to stretch even this much further. In single A, you've got Millsboro. That is a prime candidate to win the state championship. Let's not quote that. In 3A, you have Bell County, which is a prime candidate. Christian Academy's tough, but you get Hilton on the carpet, and you're the greatest of all time against a really good football. You can't go against coach. Okay.
Yeah, and I'm gonna piggyback off Middlefield just for a second, Dale. If I didn't have to work and it was not Halloween night or whatever, I would be over at Middlefield watching Middlefield take on Let's and Sale.
Yeah. You got in single A, you got Millsboro. In 3A, you got Bell County. 4A, you got Corbin. Don't ever underestimate Corbin. Corbin's still Corbin. Corbin can make a run at this. And 5A, we just spoke to a young man off of North Laurel. If North Laurel beats Pulaski County, Friday night, North Laurel's number 1 in the RPI. Mark it down.
Well, I mean, they'd
Or they'll
they
be,
would have
don't
no
mark it, they would
choice.
be right. Yeah, yeah. I mean, why wouldn't they be
I
number
mean,
1?
exactly. Why would you not put them number 1 in the RPI with big time wins over, Madison Central, Collins, big time wins over some of the schools that they've had, and then beating the team that, if I'm not mistaken, is number 1 in the RPI. If you beat them, you kind of have to get pushed above them. I mean, in my personal opinion.
Their only loss is Corbin, that's been running roughshod in 4A for many, many years. That's still pretty good, folks. And it was a close loss. He spotted him a 21-0 lead and then come back. I think the final score was like a 28-14 or something. I mean, that should speak for itself. But
Yeah,
now,
and if Norfolk could get some help, and if Bell does beat Pulaski County, they're at home on Halloween night. You could possibly see Norfolk have that number 1 seed all the way through the 5A state tournament.
yeah, I could, so is there an argument that maybe this is the first time ever we've got 4 realistic teams in the 13th region that can make realistic shots at a state championship?
I would
Well,
possibly say,
I was about to say when or if ever.
Yeah.
Just have to be a little bit of research, but any of our viewers, if you can chime in on this and comment, when has there ever been a time in the Kentucky State Championship games that they could possibly be 4 teams out of the same exact region playing in 4 different A divisions?
I mean, but before a certain point, though, it was only 4 classes, not 6. So, I mean, it was a little different back then, but before this right now.
So this has probably never happened, ever.
If y'all will give me about a week enough that I can dig around on my computer and go back all the way to 98, I can see where everybody was located, and I'll figure it out before next Sunday.
I mean, let's be honest. But now a lot of it's got to do with RPI, seeding, where you have to travel. That has a big. But I'm telling you, these teams are really, really good, folks. It's going to be very fun going down, and as the season's slowly ending, to see what all comes out of this. It's going to be it's a fun time. But again, the soccer region tournament starts this week. We're at the last week of volleyball. We're at the last few weeks of football. So a very exciting time, and I'm really impressed. And I'm gonna go back to Dorf a little bit. I'm really impressed with that squad, and that might be the game that I might decide to go to because it's such conflicting styles. You know what Pulaski County's going to want to do? They're going to want to spread it out, throw. You know what North Laurel's wanting to do? They're going to say, Zach, clear us a hole. And they're going to be ramming them right up the middle, 3 and 4 yards at a time. And be honest, I'll take the 3 yards in a cloud of dust any day. And I'm telling you, and if the weather, I don't know how the weather is shaping up for Friday, but if you're a North Laurel fan, you'd want it as miserable as possible. You'd want the rain, the snow, the slush, the wind. You'd want everything that you could factor into that. And because I'm telling you, that's when the country boy teams, they stride. And again, it's going to be, but now, hats off to the Pulaski County folks, too, and the 2 young men I interviewed. I'll tell you this much about Pulaski County. They do it in class. The boys, good heads on their shoulders, and I met a lot of nice people up there. And I can't say nothing bad about them. But I'm telling you, that's going to be a really, really good game. But that being said, well,
Did
my
pull,
computer.
Mark, I did pull up the weather for Friday night for London. At night there, it's supposed to be like a low of 57 degrees.
What?
Supposed to be a
What?
low of 57 degrees for a low for Friday night.
Any precipitation?
None.
Oh, well. Well, it doesn't matter. You just grind it out to them. I like smash mouth football. But that being said, I guess we'll go to our ending comments and start out for you, Ryan. Just what your plans for the
Well, we
week.
got to do our votes real quick.
We got to do our votes.
Well, thank you for reminding me.
You forgot, Mark.
Bench warmers all day because I'm not a LeBron fan. And that's the only reason.
Well, I'm going Space Jam too, because how can you go against Bugs Bunny?
I went with
Careless who they got in there. How can you vote against Bugs Bunny? Maybe the greatest basketball player of all time.
Well, that's true. That's true.
I went with the bench warmers.
Rocky too.
This might be the hardest vote so far for me, but that part where Adrian's in the hospital, just had the baby, and she looks at Rocky and says, "Win," and he said, "What? Win." And then that bell, doing. My God! Every time I watch that part, I could run through my living room wall here. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm absolutely ready. It's just that part might be one of the greatest sports movie moments ever.
But I went with who do you go with, Mark?
Rocky too.
Oh, okay. And that's who I went with as well. I'd make sure I got the votes.
I will throw a curveball, Everett. I'll let you go first, but I know where I'm going.
Well, I went Rocky.
I will go League of Their Own. There's no crying in baseball, folks. I'm telling you, you just got to watch that movie. There are no crying in baseball. Tom Hanks, Madonna, maybe one of the greatest sports movies ever. It's good. No crying in baseball.
I went with Rocky. I loved the first Rocky movie.
These are male
Ain't
pie.
Ain't no crying in boxing either.
Sandlot. Get rid of all them airbuds.
Well, I love Airbud Golden Receiver, but it's hard to go against the Sandlot. I care less who they're going against.
That's who I went with as well. You can't beat the Great Bambino.
You can't go wrong with the original Sandlot.
I was trying to tally the votes at the same time. I would give out the winners, and now we will officially be in the Sweet 16 here. The first one, the Sandlot won 8-0. Rocky won 6-2.
Folks, come on. League of Their Own. There's no crying in baseball. I'm crying right now. Ever gave me the crying music.
I gave you that music because the League of Their Own went down. Boo-hoo. Rocky's better.
Then Rocky 2 won 7-2. And then Benchwarmers won 9-1. The one vote was Edward.
Braun went down tonight.
Well, at least he made it farther than Jordan's Space Jam.
But before we give her final deals, can you tell us our 16 movies left, or do you have that?
Yep, I'll have to update the.
I can tell you two of them. Rocky and Rocky 2.
Hey, Rocky 4, that's probably still in there too.
your championship match, Rocky versus Rocky 2.
Nope. It will be on the one side of the bracket, so they'll have to meet before the finals. But
But then
16,
they'll probably go against Rocky 4.
the 16 teams, and this is in order. Remember the Titans versus Mighty Ducks. Miracle, however you want to say it, versus 23 Blast. The Blind Side versus the Little Giants. Hoosiers versus Major Leagues. The other side of the bracket is Rocky 4 versus Friday Night Lights. Waterboy versus Happy Gilmore. Sandlot versus Rocky. and then Rocky 2 versus the Benchwarmers.
We got to do a change there. You can't have Waterboy and Happy Gilmore going against each other.
Yeah,
Unless it's a national championship game. You got to flop them on the opposite side of the bracket.
That's Gilmore 1 or 2.
That's the number 1.
Is 2 still in it?
We never put 2 in it.
We never put 2 in it because at the time it was not out yet.
Okay.
But we got to do a flip flop. We got to take one of them teams, put them over where Happy Gilmore was at.
But I'm going to ask my viewers, I'm going to play to them. And I love 23 Blast. I love it. I've got a signed copy. Trust me. I love it. I love 23 Blasts. But watch Miracle before you vote on it. Just watch Miracle. That's all I ask the viewers. Watch Miracle before you vote on the show.
And I am going to suggest, if anybody wants me to do it, I can put all 16 teams left into a randomizer wheel, and we can redo the Sweet 16 bracket.
Nah, that'd be cheating. Then we'd be like Duke or something. We'd be cheating. We'd be like Georgia jumping over the end zone or something. No, Auburn. Never mind. Conversation for a different day. 17-0. Oh, never mind. I know Edward. I know he was in the air.
Exactly.
No, we'll leave it. That'd be cheating, because I'd like to do that in the basketball tournaments every now and then, like try to move the teams around.
Well, you can't always give Kentucky the easy bracket out, Mark.
Talking about basketball, a sad note. Sister, somebody
from I can't remember the school name now, but
Loyal Chicago or something.
Yeah. Yep.
Sister, is it Jane or?
I cannot remember her name at the moment.
But she died at 106-year-old. Wow. But bless her family, and bless all of her loved ones. That's I can just imagine what the folks up there are going through. But that being said, Ryan, tell us what you're doing this week, and just final thoughts on anything.
Besides working, I don't know about Saturday. I've got some stuff going on. The last games are early. I probably won't be able to go nowhere Saturday. But my 2 final quotes that I normally do to end the night is now that we're in postseason, the regional tournament play for one, and then we end another sport, go out and cover these athletes when it means the most for them. And then my final quote is, when you win, nothing hurts. Joe Namath.
So I'm going to leave you with this, because, my weeks are always crazy. Never know what I'm going to be able to do or where I'm going to be at. When you've got something to prove, there's nothing greater than a challenge. Terry Bradshaw.
Oh, that's a new one. You can't go wrong with old Terry Bradshaw for sure. Absolutely can't. And unfortunately, folks, I've always said that. And I told my better half to send me mine that I gave her to send to me. I don't think she has. You can't hire good help anymore. Let me see if she did. Oh, yeah, she did. But Edward, you know how big of a Bengals man I am, but it's hard not to like them old school Steelers teams of Terry Bradshaw and Lynn. I mean, just all of them and Franco Harris and just the Jack Lamberts and the Mean Joe Greens and them are old school Steel City, blue. Them are. I just loved the Pittsburgh Steelers teams back then, and not a Pittsburgh Steelers fan now, but them teams back then I loved. Just had to respect them. Them was old school. But yeah, that's a good comment. And on the subject about Cincinnati Bengals, all the Cincinnati Bengals fans out there, me and too, I'm numb. I'm so tired. I'm so tired. The season's over. It's over. I was hanging on by a thread that Flacco was going to lead us to the promised land. Flacco's better than what Browning was doing, but that team has more issues than just at the quarterback position. They can't block. They can't tackle. They can't do anything. There's a lot. There's almost at the time you almost have to take a Cincinnati on. Let's just do a rebuild, and maybe we cut ties with Joe Burrow also, and Jamar. You just almost gonna have to rebuild it. You're almost at that point. Even with the healthy Burrow, this team ain't gonna be doing much better. They're so weak on the offensive line, so weak defensively. It's just not going to happen for them, folks. Big Blue Madness was on Friday, Saturday, last night. Watched it. A lot of people was back because it was on TV. Luckily, I bought the ESPN package because I wanted to keep watching my wrestling. WWE keeps jumping on all these pay-per-view sites. That's the only way you can actually watch WWE. You got to have Netflix. Got to have ESPN. And I'm sure they'll go to probably something else once the Fox a contract. They'll probably go to like Tubi TV or something like that. Just you're going to have to pay to watch wrestling. That's just the way it's
Well,
the
the best
world's
thing
going.
is Tubi's free, so they'll probably jump to like Hulu.
Yeah, they're gonna. Yeah, it's cost you a lot to be a wrestling fan these days and times.
A sports
But
fan, a sports fan. Period.
folks, I'm telling you, I don't know if the volleyball team won today, Kentucky volleyball. I know they was up a set to none. I hadn't heard from that. But now that's they won the national championship a few years back. They look really really good, folks. They might do it again this year. Kentucky women's basketball probably the deepest team that Kentucky women has ever had, and if you look at the recruiting rankings coming in next year. Oh, we've got the number one ranked class in the country coming in next year. We got like number 9, number 10, got another 4-star coming in. Yeah, and I heard somewhere, yeah, all the schools in the country. We're talking UConn, South Carolina, all them. They've only got like one player in the top 10. We've got 2.
And Kentucky volleyball did win today, 3-0.
And that is a juggernaut of a team over there. They're undefeated in the SEC. I think they're top 2 or 3 in the country. 3. Need to go and watch them. Men's basketball. Wow. Trent Noah. The song, the entrance, winning the 3-point competition. Stand up, Harlan County. Stand up. Stand up, Harlan County. You can't say you didn't have some sense of pride when Trent Noah come out there. And them singing, "You can't leave Harlan County alive." And what a moment. What a moment. And if you didn't watch it live, go to YouTube tonight. You can watch a rerun of it. Watch Trent Noah's uh, introduction and see if you don't get a little, a little jittery. Eastern Kentucky pride right there. But that being said, to bring about change, you must not be afraid to take the first step. The late, great Rosa Parks, and what greatness she did for a lot of years. For a subject outside of the sports world, but a great woman, Thank you for all you did for us, Rosa. From all of us at the Bryant Family Medicine All Sports Media, good night and God bless.